King. King, what's our keyword? Keyword Zodiac. Am I the asshole for being mad at my mother-in-law's present and refusing to see her again? My 42F family is from East Asia. My parents moved to the US before I was born. I was born in the US, but went back to their home country, and I would spend every summer there, so I identify strongly with the culture. In my grandmother's village, it is traditional to get your children a gold necklace with their zodiac animal and gift it to them on their 18th birthday. I believe it is a beautiful tradition, so for the birth of my children, 18F, 14F, we take a trip back to my grandmother's village so that family can meet my babies and we can buy a necklace from the local jeweler. My husband, 45M, is born and raised in America and white, but he's always been very supportive of my desire to teach our children my culture, but mother-in-law has taken great offense. What's with it and shitty moms today? This is the shitty mom episode. What culture is she so defensive of? Casseroles? On International Women's Day, no less. Her stance is that because we are... It's just racist. Surprise! It's just racism. Her stance is that because we are in America, our children should only speak English, do, quote, American things, i.e. extracurriculars such as soccer or swimming, instead of their traditional dance and instrument lessons, which I have offered to stop if they don't like it, but they say they want to continue. Mother-in-law knows about the necklaces and has always known about my intention to gift the necklaces to my daughters on their 18th birthdays. She hates the tradition and calls it tacky and imperialist.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
The oldest turned 18 last week, and we had a COVID-appropriate celebration over Zoom with almost all of our friends and families. I say almost because as I opened the garage to park my car a half hour before the party, mother-in-law and father-in-law appeared out of nowhere, walked into the garage and into the house. Once in the house, mother-in-law thrusts a gift to my daughter's hands and insisted she open it first on Zoom. Daughter opens it, and lo and behold, there is an enormous 5-carat diamond necklace with pearls and a platinum chain. On the back of the setting was an engraving of some kind of lion. Mother-in-law proudly proclaims to the Zoom call that her ancestors are Scottish, and it is tradition to give bride's pearls on their wedding days. So mother-in-law decided to gift this necklace to my daughter now instead, to make a new tradition in the family. The seal on the back, she claims that after research on ancestry, is her family clan's seal? Question mark? I got a little teary-eyed because the necklace was definitely beautiful. I held it in, gave my daughter her gift, then excused myself to the rest of the room. Mother-in-law followed me and told me that this tradition was more appropriate for America, and that this would be the new family tradition because I married into the family, not the other way around. I cannot, Sandy. I cannot fucking imagine being told that to my fucking face, especially coming from a place where you have a rich culture. You have like traditional cultural values that are important to you, and then this fucking white matriarchal bitch is like, actually, you married into our family, not the other way around. You and your children have to be American, so I'm giving them this Scottish thing instead, for no other reason than to slap your fucking face for your values because I'm a racist piece of trash. After the party, I told my husband that I refused to see her anymore. He is understanding but hesitant, as it is his mother and does not want to create drama. Spineless, limp dick baby man in the house. I told him to grow a spine. I told him to grow a spine because I feel like this was to spite me. I called mother-in-law to tell her the news, and she flew into a fury, screaming at me that I can't take away her baby's identity, that you can't take away her baby's identity. Her baby's identity. Excuse me, what the fuck were you doing? What were you doing? I would love to get my younger daughter something similar, but unfortunately we cannot afford it, as mother-in-law comes from old money and dipped into her inheritance. Wow, a racist coming from old money? Whoa! But you said the kid should do American things. Last I checked, Scotland isn't America, so it's about time you admit your problem is that my traditions aren't white, mother-in-law name, because that is exactly the root of the issue here. She's also full of it. A lion and just a lion versus Osea specific heraldic lion plus all the other finery found on a clan / crest / coat of arm is just a lion. Nothing specifically Scottish about it one way or the other. Oh, and generally speaking, pearls are considered bad luck for brides, tears of the sea, and represent all the tears she will shed in a marriage. I love the fact that someone was like, if it were actually Scottish heritage, this is what it would be like. Your mother's just a racist piece of garbage. Get shit on. Get shit on your ass. Get shit on your entire butt, dude. Ugh. Yeah, not the asshole. Never see her again. And honestly, maybe divorce your husband if he allows it to continue and doesn't stand up to his fucking mom. I have no fucking idea what direction this post is gonna go. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter-in-law she showed us who she really was on her wedding day? I'm the father of 4 children. In May, my son Neil got married to Debbie. Debbie acted terribly the whole day, straight up entitled and embarrassing. My oldest daughter was 3 months pregnant and hadn't told anyone because she has already had 1 miscarriage. She was barely showing, and Debbie picked a tight-fitting bridesmaid's dress. My daughter was super sick from morning sickness, and Debbie told her she looked disgusting and to stop taking attention off of her. My son, who was the best man to the groom, his brother, had his wife seated with some cousins across the room at the reception and not at the family table because she wasn't immediate family. We did not know this until the reception and tried to have her moved back with our table, and Debbie said no, it's her day. Where the fuck does the Barbie movie come in here? How did we get here from fucking Barbie movie? It caused a fight, and the best man just left before the reception because his wife was snubbed. A few days after the wedding, my daughter miscarried again while Debbie and Neil was on their honeymoon. Debbie felt like that was attention-seeking? Shut the fuck up. Go to therapy, girl. The world does not fucking revolve around you. Jesus Christ. Get over yourself. My wife, children, and spouses normally rent a house by the beach for Labor Day, and because of continued bad blood between Debbie and the rest of the family, they aren't invited. All 3 of my other children basically said if Debbie comes, they aren't going. So Debbie and Neil got the axe. When Neil asked about it, I told him, Debbie showed us who she really was on her wedding day, and don't expect many invites from the rest of the family to do things. Neil was pissed and saying it's not fair that she is feeling left out because she saw on social media where all the girls, including the snubbed sister-in-law, her mother and wife, went to Barbie movie dressed in pink and she felt left out. My God. Now she has to tell her she can't go to the annual beach vacation and she's feeling hurt. I told him not one person in the family wants Debbie there, and I'm sorry that she can't come. My son had me on speaker and Debbie started crying, saying that she can't believe how horrible we are and she wasn't going to go anyways and don't expect to see her at Thanksgiving or Christmas ever again.
Oh no. Anyway, last week...
I lost my temper at Debbie and I told her the rest of the family would be relieved to hear it. Good shit. That's good. That's good shit. Dad, W for sure. Oh my God, there's so many good dance posts. Holy shit. Okay. Am I the asshole for imposing my culture, even though I thought I was just being nice? Even though I, 23F, am American, my parents are immigrants, and therefore I have a different cultural upbringing than most. One thing that was hammered into my head from a young age was to always bring a small gift when visiting someone's house. It doesn't matter if it's friends or family or that one person you kind of know but don't really like, bringing something is a must. My BF, 28M, and I have been dating for almost 4 years now. And since we both work from home, he suggested we make dinner with his parents a weekly thing, since we haven't been able to see each other much for obvious reasons. I love his parents, so obviously I agreed. Every week I made sure to bring something small to show my appreciation for them cooking for us, always using my own money, a small bottle of wine, their favorite desserts, some flowers, etc., and they always thanked me for it. This has been going on for a few months and absolutely didn't notice anything out of the ordinary until yesterday when my boyfriend and I were preparing to head over. I'd gotten a cute vase of daffodils since luckily I'd found some in bloom and my boyfriend's mom really loves them. But my boyfriend suddenly got really mad and asked why I kept bringing stuff over every week like his parents were a charity case. Honestly, I got super confused and asked him what the problem was and that I've always done this with everyone, including his friends, since we've met. That it was a cultural thing, but then he got even madder and told me to stop imposing my culture on everyone, and it's weird since I'm white. At that point, I didn't feel like going anywhere with him and just gave him the flowers and went for a walk while he drove over to dinner by himself. After he came home, he still had the flowers, which he gave to me and told me he was sorry, but his parents really were super annoyed with me, constantly bringing stuff over. Like they can't take care of themselves. And later on, I got a text from his dad asking me to not come over for dinner anymore. Now my boyfriend's giving me the cold shoulder unless I give his parents a huge apology, but I really, truly don't feel like I'm in the wrong for trying to be nice to them. Am I the asshole? Quick edit. I didn't realize you could edit posts directly, but I'm in a hurry to convince them to let me go over to his parents' house. I did a brief update and FAQ in my most recent comment. However, the reason we got here in the first place was from an update post. So we're going to go ahead and read that update just real quick. After my last update, I told my boyfriend I was sick and tired of him dancing around the issue with his parents, and I was going to go over to their house whether he liked it or not. At this point, I think he realized that whatever he was doing had backfired, so he sat down all angry and told me he'd explain. I sat and he told me he'd done something very spur of the moment and that he'd texted me from his dad's phone and then blocked the number, but begged me to listen. That he just needed to get his parents off me for a while and to not leave. Apparently, his parents had started hinting at him about marriage. Since my boyfriend and I talked a lot about it. I fully expected to marry him, as I said in another comment, and was honestly expecting a proposal in late spring since that's when we met. He won't have to propose because he's gonna be single forever, I hope. Witty, you're so fucking true right now. You're so fucking true and real right now. 4 years dating didn't bother me, but I was getting excited to settle down. However, my boyfriend apparently realized that he absolutely didn't want to commit to anything and wanted to experiment and have fun since I, quote, wasn't being fun anymore. Honestly, that just made me cry since we were each other's firsts for everything and usually very good at communicating our needs. His grand plan was to get him mad at me, so I would beg for forgiveness, and then he'd only accept an open relationship as an answer. That's fucking disgusting. Holy shit, that's so creepy and gross. Absolutely brilliant plan, I know. He made up his parents getting mad, but didn't expect me to blow off dinner completely. It's like, quote unquote, hitting the jackpot. His words, not mine. He went over for dinner, hid the flowers, and said we'd gotten into a huge fight, but he was, quote, going to fix it, but needed space. After he confessed all this, he said he was very sorry, but really didn't want to miss out on new experiences when he was still young, and would I consider an open relationship, but pretend ours was strained with his parents so they wouldn't get suspicious. The fucking audacity of this goddamn man right now. The fucking audacity! Are you kidding me? And I laughed. I laughed his ass right out the door and told him absolutely not and to leave me alone while I packed, because I wanted to have some new experiences too. He never stopped begging me to stay, but I left to sleep at my friend's. After calming down for a few days, I cemented the breakup and finally actually went over to his parents. My ex-BF's dad never even noticed the phone missing, but still apologized, and his mom was a mess. I did and still love them and will eat dinner there without him as often as I can. I won't lie that I'm sad about it 4 years down the drain, but that's life. And if that was my ex's best possible plan, then I dodged the bullet by a fucking mile.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Sorry, I can't, Daddy can't pay attention to your milk right now. Daddy's a little predisposed with stabby time, fun time.